This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that last card to complete your online deck, or just to get the latest booster packs in town like Crowns in it, for example. They literally have everything, and you can use the coupon code ZapDosTCG for 5% off your order. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by PLAYMAT.com. This is a platform where you're able to upload your favorite wallpaper and they turn it into a beautiful playmat. You can now have 10% off your order by clicking the link down below, and they ship worldwide, so definitely check it out. Last but certainly not least is going to be DragonShield.com. Dragon Shield is the best brand to protect your beautiful cards, and they have the best quality sleeves available, and you can of course check it out by clicking the links down below. They have sleeves, binders, and deck boxes of the best quality around. I use them in every single tournament, and you guys should do the exact same thing. Thank you a lot for sticking around with the commercials, and enjoy the video. Peace. Sup YouTube, it's ZapDosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel today. Highly demanded by you guys, Giratina VSTAR post rotation. If you guys enjoy videos like these, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and let's just get this video on its way. So we're going to be doing a deck profile on the Giratina VSTAR deck post rotation. This is not paired with Arceus VSTAR, it is going to be the Lost Box variant. This archetype actually does not lose a lot and actually gets a little bit better post rotation because it is still going to be a force to be reckoned with. Stuff like Big Parasol gets rotated out, which is very huge for the Star Requiem attack of the Giratina VSTAR. So without further ado, let's just get this video on its way with 3 copies of the Giratina VSTAR. Giratina VSTAR has a crazy damage output. With Lost Impact, you're slapping 280 damage output. That's going to be super huge to KO opposing VSTAR Pokemon. Also, the Star Requiem also allows you to just one-hit KO any Pokemon in existence if you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone. Without cards like Big Parasol in the format, you're going to be able to have that one-hit KO on any Pokemon in the format. Stuff like Mew VMAX, you can instantly evaporate them with Star Requiem, so that's going to be super great. And the Lost Zone box does have, of course, capabilities to make sure you can get some attacks going turn 1 with the help of Cramorant. You could be utilizing the Sableye in the late game as well. So yeah, Giratina is going to be better post-rotation. We're going to be playing 3 copies of the Giratina V. Giratina V with Abyss Seeking is going to be something you'll be utilizing more than in the past, because the format has slowed down just a tiny little bit, even though Miraidon is there to, of course, tap 220 damage, and Mew VMAX with Meloetta is scary against certain archetypes. You could be still using Abyss Seeking to, of course, look at the top 4 cards of the deck and put 2 of them in the hand and 2 to the Lost Zone. The deck does lose stuff like Scoop Up Net, so this is going to be a way you can get, of course, more cards in that Lost Zone. We also have Shred, which is able to hit through any effects, which could help in specific scenarios. When more cards come out, you can just be secured that walling Pokemon do not have anything going for them with, of course, the Shred attack. So, with that being said, we're going to be talking about the Comfies. 4 copies of Comfy, whatever you want to call this little buddy. You're going to be utilizing Flower Selecting, and with Flower Selecting, you can look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one of them in the hand, and the other cards go straight into the Lost Zone. With Lost Zone decks, you definitely need to make sure what is prized. That's why we're also going to be trying to make a little bit of a consistent list. We're playing a 3-3 line of Giratina VSTAR. We're playing 2 of some attackers like Cramorant and Sableye, so the choices become a little bit easier. So this is a starting point for a Giratina Lost Zone box. If you want to change any cards, feel free to do so, and let me know in the comments how you feel about them. So we're going to be using Comfy. This is your best starting Pokemon, and that's going to allow you to, of course, utilize the ability to get as many cards in the Lost Zone as possible. Then, once you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone, we're going to be talking about Colress's Experiment later down in this video, but if you have 4 of them in the Lost Zone, this little fella, Cramorant, can start swinging with 0 energies required. Use Spit Innocently for 110 damage. In most games, you're going to be utilizing Cramorant on your first turn going second, or yeah, also if you go first, the following turn, you're probably going to be using Cramorant first until you get to that 7 march of cards in the Lost Zone, so you could utilize Mirage Gate. More on that later. Then 2 copies of Sableye. Sableye is super scary post-rotation. whether you're up against the Gardevoir deck, whether you're up against an opposing Lost Zone box, Lost Mine is super powerful. You might also think about adding in the Halucha, which also allows you to put some damage counters on the opponent's bench, but I'm a bigger fan of just playing multiple Sableyes and just spreading until your heart's content. With Lost Mine, you can spread 12 damage counters wherever you feel once you hit 10 cards in the Lost Zone. So 2 copies of that. So as you can see, not a lot has changed for the Giratina VSTAR deck. A lot of cards are still in the format. Cards you're going to be missing most likely is Scoop Up Net, so just make note of that. Then 1 copy of your Radiant card is a Radiant Greninja. This is going to be the best way to draw through the deck. We've seen this in the past with concealed cards. You could utilize it. This time around, no more Scoop Up Net, so it's only going to be required once during a turn. But the cool thing is, it's also a very formidable attacker. With Moonlight Shuriken, you're going to be able to snipe 90 damage to 2 of the opponent's Pokemon. If the opponent is not running Manaphy, you can be taking multiple prize cards. Something we've seen a lot happening is that Radiant Greninja snipes 90 damage on 2 Archeops, and then Sableye finishes off. Super cool to utilize for sure. Then there is a Snorlax, very formidable attacker, Thumping Snore, 180 damage, and it only requires 3 energies. So that's going to be also an attacker in your deck. Then we have Drapion V, seems to be popping up in most post-rotation lists just because Mew V Max is one of the most consistent decks post-rotation. You need an answer for it, and Drapion is going to be the way. So the cool thing you could do with this deck is use the Dynamic Tail for 0 energies on a Mew V Max, take 3 prize cards, and then utilize Giratina VSTAR to take down a second V Max with the Star Requiem VSTAR attack. So Drapion in here, and then 1 copy of the Manaphy. You will definitely need Manaphy because Radiant Greninja is around, which can snipe, and you want to have the edge in mirror situations. So Manaphy also part of the squad. So these are all the Pokemon in the list. Let's talk about supporters up next. Okay, we have the Colress's Experiment. This is your main draw supporter in the deck, and also the easiest way to get cards in the Lost Zone. Without Scoop Up Net, this is something you will be needing on your first couple of turns to, of course, get as many cards as you want in the Lost Zone. You can look at the top 5 cards of the deck, put 3 of them in the hand, and 2 go to the Lost Zone instantly. So just be careful that you don't Lost Zone too many crucial puzzle pieces in specific matchups. Then 2 copies of Roxanne. That's right, Roxanne is a fantastic late game card that's going to help out in a lot of situations, putting the opponent to 2 cards. So you can only utilize this if the opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, and then both players shuffle their hand to the deck. You get 6 cards, the opponent only 2. If you use this in the late game and you time it properly, you could be cheesing out games, putting the opponent to a low hand size while you swing with a Giratina VSTAR. I've seen Giratina VSTAR take 4 prize cards in the late game, so it's going to be super strong in here for sure. Then we have 1 copy of Boss's Orders. I would love to bump this up to 2 copies, but I couldn't find the room for it. You maybe could cut something like a Sableye, but I'm a bigger fan of just making sure that your attackers do not get in the Lost Zone, because sometimes the flower selections could be very difficult. So 1 copy of Boss's Orders could help you out to target something, definitely in the late game. Target something down and use your V-Star attack to, of course, get multiple prize cards. And then 1 copy of Clara. We have lost the formidable Ordinary Rod, so getting cards back from that discard pile is way more difficult. So with Clara, you at least have a capability to, of course, get back a Sableye and an Energy, get back your Drapion, maybe against Mew V Max, get back your Manaphy. So I would definitely suggest getting at least 1 copy of Clara. The cool thing is that with Clara, it actually gets back to the hand. You don't want to be playing a Miriam in this list just because that way you shuffle all, you can shuffle 5 Pokemon, but you shuffle and your hand to your deck and actually just, you draw 3 cards. Yeah, Miriam is also maybe a capability, but I'm a bigger fan of instantly getting it to the hand because Clara can get back energies, can get back other stuff, and with Radiant Greninja, you can dig it even deeper with the concealed cards. So yeah, Clara I think is way better. Then, for the item cards, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the Battle VIP Pass. Because you, of course, use flower selecting, use Colress's Experiment, you can find your Battle VIP Passes easier than ever before. So this deck does see a lot of cards in the early phases of the game. So I think it is only right to be playing Battle VIP Passes. Definitely with the Quick Ball leaving the format, you also need some additional Pokemon Search. 3 copies of Nazball in here. This can find any basic you want, and it's going to help you with your early game consistency, finding stuff like Comfey, or you could find your attacker in the form of Cramorant, Sableye, etc. Now it's actually way easier because sometimes in the past you had to use a Quick Ball, and sometimes your hand was a little bit small and it didn't allow you to discard like some cards because it's a difficult choice. Now with Nazball, you instantly get the Pokemon on the bench. This also means we're not playing Luminion in this list just because of the fact that coming into play abilities do not work with Nazball. So Nazball fantastic card. And to finish off the Pokemon search, we have 1 copy of Heavy Ball, because sometimes your Radiant Greninja could be prized, your Manaphy, your one-off Drapion, etc. So Heavy Ball could also be a way you can find Comfey if there is one in the prize cards lurking. Next up, we're going to be playing 4 copies of Mirage Gate. So as you can see, not a lot has changed for a deck like this. I know we've lost stuff like the Scoop Up Net, which is super bad for a deck like this, but we have other options. We're going to be talking about the switch options very shortly. We have the Mirage Gate. So the Mirage Gate allowing you to, of course, accelerate 2 different energies, 2 different basic energies from the deck instantly to your Pokemon, but only works if you have 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone. So first couple of turns, use Colorless Experiment, use Comfey, and at one point you have 7 in the Lost Zone, so you could utilize Giratina VSTAR. Another card you might be thinking of is Torton. Torton could also be the replacement of Clara, because you can then swap Pokemon from the discard pile to one of the basic Pokemon in play. So that's going to be a nice way to swap between Pokemon. But I'm a bigger fan of Clara in this list currently. Then 3 copies of Switch Card. As mentioned, we do not have any Scoop Up Nuts anymore, so you definitely need some switch out to make sure that you can use Comfeys as often as you like. That means you can have like a couple of flower selecting, switch card, go for another flower selecting, switch card, attack with Cramorant, following turn, do it again, and slap for huge damage as soon as you use Mirage Gate and evolve your Giratina V all the way into the V-Star. 3 copies of Escape Rope. I love Escape Rope in this format because Klefki is around, and Klefki can shut down the Comfeys, which is super annoying for sure. So you definitely need some Escape Ropes to push them aside, forcing them to put 2 Klefkis in play instantly. If they are not able to manage that, you're going to have the edge here. Then 1 copy of the Energy Recycler. You definitely need the Energy Recycler because, as mentioned, Ordinary Rot is no longer a thing. And because you're discarding energies with Radiant Greninja, and some energies go to the Lost Zone with the Lost Impact of the Giratina V-Star, you need as many energies that you can get back. Also, now that I mentioned it, Training Court has also rotated. So that means that, yeah, you definitely need more energies in your deck. I maybe am doubting to put a second Energy Recycler in here, but because Clara can also get energies back, I think it is fine as it is. Then, for the stadium cards, we have 2 of them. We have Beach Court, a new stadium from Scarlet and Violet, putting the retreat cost of all basic Pokemon -1. That means your Comfey has free retreat, Cramorant, Sableye, Greninja, which is super awesome, and also is a nicer way to, of course, swap from Comfey to Comfey. Also, Air Balloon rotated, so this is a nice stadium. Might even think to add that up to 2 counts. Then Temple of Sinnoh is still around in the format, and the reason for that is that Fusion Mew is a thing. I like Temple of Sinnoh in combination with Roxanne, that's a thing. But also against Lugia, they're now playing single strike energies, and that could sometimes be a headache in order to one-hit KO a Lugia V-Star with, of course, that V-Guard energy. Of course, we can use Star Requiem, but it's not going to help every single time, and you don't want to get like instantly evaporated by a Tyranitar V. So I think 1 copy of Temple in combination with Roxanne is super powerful. Then for the energy lineup, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Psychic energies. I think the psychic energies are nice because we're playing 2 copies of Sableye, and with 5 of them, you can also utilize it to attack with the Giratina V-Star or the Giratina V. So they need psychic energy, so 5 of them in there. Then 4 copies of the Grass Energy. So that's going to help out to power up Giratina V-Star. If you are not powering it up, you can also utilize the energies, of course, to draw more cards with the concealed cards of Radiant Greninja. And then 4 copies of the Water type energy. You will also think about adding in the Jet energy. That is an energy that you attach that you can instantly swap into the active. I personally didn't add it in here because I'm a big fan of playing all basic energies, so you can Mirage Gate all of your energies in the deck, because sometimes I noticed that there could be some Jet energy still left in the deck, and if you Mirage Gate, you sometimes are running out of energies. You could also think about adding a second copy of Energy Recycler, cutting one of these energies for a Jet energy. That is your choice, but personally I think this list is performing quite well. So this is the Giratina V-Star deck post-rotation. Let me know what you think about it. Are you going to be testing this out yourself? Do you require a second boss? Are you going to cut Clara for a Miriam? I want to hear your opinions down below. If you enjoy videos like this, let me know. Subscribe for more content, and I want to know what you want to see up next. I have a whole plethora of decks still lined up for you guys, so you guys know that you can get all the post-rotation content on this channel. Thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, definitely check out our sponsors. We have PokedownStore.com. You can get 5% off of course, all the code cards. They work on TCG Online and TCG Live. We will have to swap to TCG Live very shortly, so maybe get some codes to prepare your account. There's also the yourplaymat.com website, where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat from scratch. Use, of course, the link down below to get 10% of your order and start creating your own custom playmat, just like the playmat you see right here. There's also Dragon Shield. All of these deck profiles are, of course, with Dragon Shield sleeves. They are the best brand of sleeves to, of course, protect your beautiful cards. And they also have binders and deck boxes. So check the links down below. And last but not least is CARDMARKET.com, European platform. You're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the link down below to help support the channel. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG madness. Peace.